Okay, it's time for another Tabby and Spinky story. So we have to put on the story hat and off we go. Well, um, as is often the case, if you have chickens in the country, especially, sometimes things come around and break into your chicken coop and kill chickens. And that was happening at Charlie's family's home. Something had gotten into their chicken coop and killed one of the chickens the night before. So they decided they'd better do something about it. And the first thing they decided to try was to leave Tabby and Spinky outside at night near the chicken coop to keep watch and guard and alert them if anything came to bother the chickens. So they did that. The family all settled down to go to bed, and Tabby and Spinky sat down on watch in the backyard. They knew what they were supposed to do, and so they were carefully watching. And after a while, Spinky said, I think I smell something. I think something's coming. And so they got all alert and were on the watch. And pretty soon they saw a small black and white animal creeping up on the chicken coop from the back side. And Tabby said, Oh, it's a skunk. We'd better alert the family because skunks kill chickens. And let's bark and yowl. And Spinky said, No, we can take care of that. That's just a little animal. We can go get it ourselves. Come on. And Tabby said, No, we need to get the people to come deal with it. But Spinky was already running toward the skunk, and Tabby, not to be left out, jumped up and started charging along right behind Spinky. And pretty soon there was a big bark and yowl, and Tabby was yowling and Spinky was barking, and they were very unhappy because the skunk had sprayed them. But with all that barking and yowling, the skunk ran away, and the chickens were saved. But Charlie heard all the barking and yowling, and he got up and ran to the back door and looked out, and there he saw Tabby and Spinky looking kind of dejected, and he could smell the skunk smell. And he said, Okay, you two are going to have to stay outside for the rest of the night until we can get you cleaned up tomorrow. So the next morning, uh, they ran some water in the bathtub and got some good soap and bubble bath and everything they could think of that might kind of take away the odor of the skunk smell. And so Charlie's mom went out, and fortunately she had a cold and couldn't smell very much. So she went out and took Spinky by the collar, and first she put some tomato juice over him because that's supposed to be good for taking away skunk smell. And then she brought him over to where the tub was. They'd set up a bathtub in the backyard, an old stock tank to wash the animals in because they didn't really want the skunk smell in the house. So they put Spinky into the tub and gave him a bath, first round of bath. That took the worst of it off. And then they took him inside and put him in the bathtub inside where it could be, they could have warm water and plenty of materials to work with, and gave him a really good bath. And he wasn't smelling quite as bad when they got done. And Tabby was sitting outside watching Spinky getting his bath and thinking, boy, I'm sure glad that's not me. And then as they let Spinky outside, suddenly Charlie came up and grabbed Tabby and handed Tabby off to his mom. And his mom stuck Tabby in the tub and gave Tabby the same treatment. And Tabby was not happy at all. Spinky didn't mind baths too much. He didn't especially like them, but Tabby just hated baths. And so she got her really heavy duty bath. And then Charlie's mom stuck Tabby outside to dry, and Tabby went off and among the trees and licked herself and felt very sorry for herself having to get a bath. And Tabby realized that sometimes it's really important to use your own good sense and not let your friends talk you into doing something really dumb, because it can have bad consequences.
Down by the creek where the bullfrogs jump, on a bed of leaves in a hollow trunk, just taking a snooze was a little skunk, all black and white. The pretty little trunk on the edge of the farm, it kept that little critter so warm. He never did anybody a harm, except at night. He comes creeping while chickies are a-sleeping, hoping for a midnight snack. He comes a-peeping. You little old thief, let me tell you in brief, there's a surprise for you. Up by the coop where the chickens sleep, Tabby and Spinky their vigil keep. They see you coming when you start to creep. Yes, they see you come. Well, they bark and they yowl, running in your direction, but you're not the one that needs the protection. They'll be sorry and you've got no worries, just a little perfume. They come a-running, the skunky starts a-turning, just a little squirt and their eyes are burning. The skunk goes away and the chickens can stay, so can the smell. No matter how you bark and yowl, you learned your lesson well.
It's the end of the story.